Hi guys, it's took a long while for it to happen due to lockdown, but we're finally here with Kelly Bea. We're going to ask her a few questions. She's going to sing a song or two maybe. Yeah, so we'll press on. Thank you for having us, Kelly.
Thanks for having me.
No, pleasure. So tell me a bit about yourself then. Give me a bit of your background and all that jazz.
So I'm from Birmingham. I was living in London for a little while working in a nursery, but I've recently just come back and landed a job here where we are at Access Creative College. So I do admin here full time, and then on the sidelines I do music, which is what we're going to talk about today. I'm 19 and I don't do much else. There's not a lot to talk about.
How long have you been involved in music then?
I've been doing it for about 5 years now. I started when I was about 14, just going around Castle Bromwich doing some open mic nights. My parents, funnily enough, have been going to Andy Bennett's open mic for a while and coming back every Thursday night saying, "This is great, you need to come." And I just didn't want to. I was in the middle of my GCSEs and school, and then eventually I did go and I saw how cool they looked with the guitars and I asked for one, and then it gathered dust for a year, and then finally I met a friend that happened to teach and I learnt that way. And I never thought I'd sing, I thought I'd just play, but I ended up singing too.
Brilliant. Who are your influences music-wise?
I've got a couple. The one that's always stuck in my head is Katie Tunstall.
Right.
I've loved her since the very beginning.
What is it about her?
She's just different, and I watch her live a lot, and how she does it all with the loop pedals and things, I think it's really class. I'd love to do something like that. But I just like her, it's more personality for me. I don't really go by music, I like personality of an artist, and that's what stands out, and Katie Tunstall seems cool. I really like Lucy Spraggan. I don't really bang on as much as I used to, because I used to be very much like listen to one sort of thing, and now I listen to a different set. But yeah, she's a big influence of mine. And then Billie Eilish I've grown to love. But when I'm working here in the day, I always listen to 80s, Whitney Houston, Tina Turner.
I was going to say, that brings me on nicely to my next question, which is, what was your favourite era of music for you to listen to?
80s dance, stuff like that. But ever since TikTok came about, I've been listening to a lot of R&B, which is good. But I listen to anything. I'm not a big fan of rock music, but anything does me.
Excellent, depending on your mood.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favourite music video?
I've got two. Is that alright?
If you've got 3, 4, it doesn't matter.
I've got, the one is a Lucy Spraggan one, and it's a song called Modern Day Frankenstein. And she's dressed up as Frankenstein in it, and loads of different characters, and she's just dressed dancing around like a lily, and it's brilliant. It just puts a smile on my face, and that's what I like about it.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's a wicked song too, one that gets your dancing shoes on.
Good stuff.
And then the other one is a newer song by Katie Tunstall. It's called The River, and I was studying the song at this college when I studied here as a music student, and I was just watching the video and I could get so much from the song and the lyrics from it. So yeah, I love that. There's also one, I think it's called Happier. It's a newer song. I can't remember who it's by now, but there's a video about a family that buy a dog, and it's the dog's life and things.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and it's really emotional, but it's beautiful.
Oh no, any emotion on it. Does the dog die at the end?
Yeah, but they get a new one.
Oh, that's out with the old and in with the new.
Yeah.
I'm not down with that. Not down with that. You've got a new single coming out called Downfall over the next, is it September the
22nd.
September the 22nd, all being well.
All being well, yeah.
Tell me about it. What was your inspiration for it?
So I wrote it. I'd been writing for ages since I started music, writing different bits, and then I got a bit of a writer's block, and I was just stuck. And I ended up pushing myself to write with other people, which I never wanted to do. I wanted to do everything on my own, like a boss lady, but it's not possible. And I met up with a friend of mine, Will Underwood. Just check him out, he's brilliant, and his songwriting is just the best. And we wrote this song together, but it's more of, you know, he was a songwriter on it, but he hasn't recorded it or anything, so it's one that I'm going to record. And we wrote it together, and it was just about being positive, because I've got so het up with people in my life, you know, struggling with depression and anxiety and things, and I've just, without sounding rude, just kind of had enough of it, and I wanted to break from it and try and be a bit more positive. And for me myself as well, struggling with different things, I needed something to make me a bit happier. So we got together and we sat down in the room next door actually, and I just said, let's write a happy one. And it's funny considering it's called Downfall, because it sounds like it's going to be really traumatic, but it's not. And it's just about basically turning all the negatives on their arse and doing something good with yourself. And it's a really upbeat, happier song. And we recorded it in the studio. He came in with me and we had the whale of a time there. It was brilliant. So I'm really excited to bring it out. After my last single was quite a sad song, this one's more upbeat. It's my favourite song by far yet, so it'll be coming out on the 22nd of September, all being well.
That is the next month after August, yeah. Can't wait to hear it, and obviously you're going to play that for us shortly. In the whole studio process then, what would you say your favourite aspect is?
I love all of it. Some bits of it get slow. You know, I'm not a massive fan. I play the guitar, but I find it a bit, you know, when they have to do so many different takes, it does get tedious for an artist, because all you want to do is the creative stuff. But I love just hearing it come together, and every time I'm in the studio I kind of record snippets on my phone and see how it progresses, and it is magical. It's the most magical feeling when you go in with nothing and come out with something you've ripped like the most proud of. Downfall is definitely the best project I've done so far, and it's exactly what I wanted it to be. But I also really like recording vocals, because I went through a stage where I couldn't sing without my guitar, and it was like another
like a comfort blanket type thing.
And I still to this day I won't perform without my guitar unless I'm with a band or something. And when I get into the studio, you know, I turn all the lights off, take my shoes off, get comfy. And it's just me, and no one else is looking at me, and I can just focus, and I love that bit.
Fantastic. That sounds quite cathartic, actually.
Yeah, it's really. I just get in my own comfort zone. Some little dim lights on like this, and it's nice. Yeah.
Excellent. How has COVID hindered your shows or anything like that? Has it?
Yeah, massively. It's been a right kick in the teeth. Because as I said earlier, I was living in London for a little bit, so I was only coming home on the weekends to do gigs, and it was really messy, and I thought I'd be able to manage it better than I did. So I ended up coming back to Birmingham just after 3 months of living there, and then I literally kicked myself into gear, and I got gigs. I was getting gigs every day somewhere, all the time, and I was thriving off it as well. It didn't seem tiring. I was loving it. And then I just remember my brother saying, "Oh, there's this virus in a different country," and I was saying, "No, it won't come here." And the week after, bam. And obviously it's been a massive kick in the teeth in loads of aspects, like people aren't working. I just met my partner a week before lockdown started, so that had a massive toll. I think it's made everything hard, but especially for a musician, I mean, all the gigs went, which is really gutting, because it's the thing we most enjoy, it's our income, everything. But do you know, the one thing is, I tried to do a live stream right at the beginning of lockdown, and a lot of people were working from home and not many people were watching, and because there wasn't that audience response, I really didn't enjoy it. Yeah. And I thought I would enjoy picking the guitar up, and it just made me think that, you know, you don't really appreciate it when you're an artist, but the audience is the best part of it. And that the vibe in a pub or in a club is the best bit. And I started a blogging page instead of doing music stuff. I was going to blog, and because my brand's sort of more personality based than music at the minute, and I tried that, and it gave me some sort of relief. But I've really just missed the people, just going in and giving everyone a hug and having a laugh. That's the best bit, and it's really hard to keep your music going without that, I think. I know a lot of people have had a lot of time in lockdown and done loads, but I haven't found the passion's been really there, because I need that constant strive.
You've put that really well, to be honest with you. And I know I watched an interview the other day with a golfer called Paul Casey, and he was doing really well in this tournament, and he says, "I'm not enjoying it. I'm completely flat. there's no crowd here. He said, I just feel like I'm just walking around the field. He says, I need the crowd for me to be up, for me to be performing at my best. So I don't think it's just yourself. I think a lot of people in the public eye and performers and things like that do feel it. So
it's the same in loads of situations. So like I was furloughed, and as I said earlier, I do admin, and even that, it's just the fact that you weren't seeing people, and we go on one walk a day and see a few faces at a distance, but it's just not the same. And the staff here are gorgeous, and they're so lovely and friendly. And the minute I come back in, my mental health and everything just skyrocketed because you really miss it.
Yeah, bless you. Are we going to see an album in the future, hopefully?
Yeah, I've got some sort of rough plan that I've got 2 songs out already on all platforms under the name of Kelly Bea, and then my new one's coming out in September, and then over the course of the next year I want to try and get 2 to 3 more recorded, and by Christmas next year I want to have an EP out. That's the next step for me. I already know what songs want to go on it, what's going to be the feature song and everything. It's just getting it done now. But it's a process that can't be rushed. It's got to be done.
Absolutely. Well, look, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for yours.
Genuinely appreciated it. And we're going to go to the live performance now.